a show where the old man used to say, "Gonna have to fix that one of these days." I can't remember. Getting ready to get started putting up some rafters on the porch build, but I realized something. Part of my design for this post and beam section of the porch was some angle braces in the corners, and I hadn't cut those yet. Now I do have a solid board over here that's going to be perfect for it, but I need to make that cut. I need to make one cut down the center of it on the sawmill, and then I've got my miter saw up here that I can make my angle cuts. And well, the acorns, I'm telling you what, man, they're all over the place. Anyway, I've got my miter saw up here to make my 45-degree cuts and get them ready to put up. And I decided I want them to extend out like 16 inches on each side. So I'm not gonna go over there and try to measure it out. I'm just gonna use old Pythagoras.
Pythagoras, a Greek mathematician, set that up.
And come up with how long they need to be, make my cuts, take them all over there and get them stained and ready to hang up. Hope that works. Skimmed your head. Sorry about that. Cold start for the Kohler. All right, I first said I was going to make the cuts over here, but I'll be honest, even though I trust Pythagoras, I don't necessarily trust myself to measure everything right and not check the first board that I cut. So what I'm going to do is go over there, set up a cutting station, sawhorses or whatever, and I'll make my first cut, make my first board, put it up and make sure that it's going to work the way that I need it to, and then I'll cut the rest of them. All right, let's do this without knocking the windshield out of our new side-by-side, all right? Found another thing I really like about this machine, and that is it has park, so you don't have to set the parking brake every time you stop. The park works well. I'm all set up, got me an extension cord run from my EBL solar power station in there, which is staying charged by my little solar panel here. I'm telling you, if you guys haven't checked into those, they're a little pricey, but man, the convenience is amazing when you're up building on a site like this with no power yet. So, got my miter saw set up, and I'm ready to start making some cuts. So, I'm gonna knock that out. We'll test one up there and see what it looks like. And then once I get them all cut, I'll stain them, let them dry while I'm working on marking out rafters, and we'll go from there. We're going 16 inches each direction, so be 16 squared plus 16 squared. It's gonna equal 512. Square root of that is 22.62 inches. All right, so Pythagoras said 22.62. I marked my lines on here, and it's almost dead on. We put this sucker at 45 right on the bottom line. Come up to the line there. That's pretty good. I like it. All right, so just need 8 of these. So let's cut 7 more. Because I want to make sure everything stays true in relation to everything else that I've built, I'm using the math to make sure I get all of this correct. For starters, you know, my milled beams, they're pretty close to being all exactly the same, but there's a little bit of variation in them, you know, 1/16 of an inch thickness, a little bit of a wave here and there. And so I am using the math to calculate how long these rafters should be, and I'm using that. And what's interesting is I come down here to the end, and this post here on the end is leaning out just ever so slightly, and I'm coming up about 3/8 of an inch to, like my board would be 3/8 of an inch too short based on the math. Well, if I lean it in to where it's exactly level, my board lines up exactly right. And so that's helping me get it all together. And the same thing down on the other end. So I'm putting just ever so slight pressure on it to hold it in, so that I can put a rafter in place. I'm gonna go ahead and cut another one to match this one exactly for the other end. And we'll set up our pattern for the rest of our rafters, and then we'll be on our way. But this is all coming together just like it's supposed to. Shocking. right, so throw my drill down real quick. All right, so major progress because I got the two ends locked in. So they're ready to go, and we're screwed into the side of our ledger board on this end, hanging over. And then I started my pattern. Now, I'm not gonna have this like 3 foot of overhang here. Probably gonna go with about even with the front of the concrete, maybe 2 foot. I don't know. How much overhang can you get by with? I kind of want as much as I can get by with, but I also don't want it hanging down too low and looking silly and hanging out too far and looking silly. Probably 16 inches to 2 foot is what I'm going to go with. But I got the first 2 rafters up here, and I've got my pattern over here ready for tomorrow. What tomorrow's project is going to be is knocking out all these rafters on the porch. Now, I am loving these black rafter ties. And I ordered these off of Amazon. I told you about them before. And then I had to go to Lowe's and pick out some exterior black screws to put in them. Now, I do understand these are not rafter tie screws, but the way that I'm putting this together, it's not going anywhere. It's going to be just fine. So that's what I went with there, and I think it's going to look just phenomenal. So I'm excited about that. I gave all of my angle braces time to dry, so I'm going to knock those out before I quit for tonight. Me and Cameron got a workout, so I've got to get done so I can go down and drink my pre-workout and get all amped up. And I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you, Cameron's 22 years old, and he weighs more than me, and he's a little bit stronger than me, and he's gonna start pulling away, and it hurts my pride a little bit, but I'm working hard. I'm working as hard as I can. I enjoy doing this. I want to stay in shape so that I'm in good shape to be with my grandkids and all that. So we're having a good time with that. Well, let's get these things hung up. So what I've done is the first one, I marked my 16 inches on the top and the side just to kind of check it out and make sure that was the look I wanted and all that. But all I need the rest of these is just a line here to put it on, and it'll go to 16 inches up here. They're all cut identical, so everything's gonna be good to go. I've got big timber screws to throw in them, so let's quit jibber jabbering, as Taylor Ray would say, and get to work. Any of you all know who Taylor Ray is? I'll be impressed if you do. That's about gonna be it for today. I got 8 rafters ready to go for tomorrow. I got a bunch more to cut, but we'll get there. Yeah, man, I will, once I get all the rafters put up, I'll stretch me a string, pull it real tight, and mark me a line, and then I'll go down through there and I'll cut all those rafters the same. That way I've got a good straight end. The main reason I didn't do that on the house is because I knew it was going to be 14 feet in the air, and the only thing I've got to get that high is a extension ladder that's really rickety. So yeah, I wasn't going that route on the house, but I can do it on this. And I can tell you what, I put these braces in on these posts. You want to talk about one solid porch, man, this thing won't even shake. Yeah, it ties it all together real nice. All right, well, I gotta take the bomb light, go park it in the equipment shed, and wrap it up. I thought I was wrapping it up earlier, but then I realized I had enough time to get a few rafters cut, and I thought, well, what I cut today, I won't have to cut tomorrow. So, got a little bit done. All right, let's head through the woods. Every day I come through here and I say, oh, I'm gonna run over here with a chainsaw and cut that out of the way. And every day I get over there and start working and forget all about it until I'm driving back. One of these days I'll cut that. long was the show where the old man used to say, "Gonna have to fix that one of these days"? I can't remember. Shoo! Back up here on this froggy, almost frosty morning. About to get
Froggy?
Yes, froggy. About to get to work putting up some rafters. Caden is already over here setting up to start staining more tongue and groove. We've got about 5 hours that we can work on it today. So I hope to get most of the rafters put up, if not all. Probably won't get all, I don't know, we'll see. And get a bunch of that decking stained. That way we'll be able to hit it on Monday and start getting the roof decking on. Won't be long, we'll be putting some metal roofing on. I'm excited about that. We're going with copper metal roofing. I think it's gonna look really sharp with the black metal and with the brown beams and all that. So can't wait for that. All right, I gotta get moving, I'm gonna freeze. Going over here.
Good.
Getting them stained up. Not bad, not bad. I want you to watch these edges right here because like the little white lines you leave right here are what will probably be visible.
Those go in there.
But is it going to go in far enough to cover it up completely?
That's what it's meant for.
I understand what it's meant for, but I'm telling you, it's going to be a whole lot, look at me, it's going to be a whole lot harder to go back and touch up all those places when it's up in the roof of the porch. So it would be a whole lot easier to take your brush and just run it right down there like that. So like when you get them all done, then just go back and run down through here and finish them up, okay? You're doing good though, appreciate it. It would split and blow out on one I'm filming. The board. It's fine.
Anticlimactic.
Unhook these solar panels. Pack them up. Man, went to unhook them and it hurt my fingernail. You remember 3 months ago when I smashed my finger with a hammer? And just now finally losing the rest of that fingernail. I'll be glad when the rest of it grows back because it's tender. You gotta be careful.
First camera didn't have flash.
Why?
We could have been at Cincinnati by now.
Cincinnati?
Purposely said to talk about.
Huh?
I purposely said it.
I know you did.
That always like that.
Yeah.
Sure.
We wouldn't have though, because
I know, we still would have worked anyways because you're a workaholic.
you can't have nothing if you don't work. I'm not a workaholic.
Mama had to work anyways, actually.
I got to take good care of my family, and so I'm building a house. This is what it's all about, son. Call me a workaholic. We're heading up to Cincinnati for the weekend. We're gonna go to a gospel meeting up there, and it's, you know, just a couple hour drive, but we got an Airbnb for the family, and we're all just gonna kind of hang out, go out to eat. And Caden said, man, it's a shame Cameron had class today. We could have already left for Cincinnati. And he said, but we wouldn't have anyway because you're a workaholic. I feel like I'm pretty balanced. Take good care of my family.
You're building this for your family, but you don't spend time with your family.
I spend time with my family. You're nuts. He's trying to make me mad now because he knows what's important to me. I quit early every day so that I can come down and be with all of y'all.
Early?
Yep.
Nuh-uh.
Hey, listen, just because you'd sit on the couch and eat bonbons all day don't mean that that's what you're supposed to do. I don't even know what bonbons are. That just used to be the joke on shows when I was a kid. The husband would make jokes about the wife sitting around on the couch eating bonbons all day. I don't know. Caden, you go park the mini skid in the equipment shed. Look at you. Hold on, step off there. When did you get that sweatshirt? Wow. What that means is I'm in trouble when Mama gets home. I wasn't paying any attention to what he was wearing up here, but I knew I was going to have him stay. Oops. Go to work sweatshirt anyway, right guys? All of the rafters are up. I got all the rafter ties screwed in, everything is set. The next thing I have to do is decide how much overhang I want and chop these rafters down through here, all the same length. So I'll be stretching the string and I'll get all that done. But I might wait and start the decking up at the top and work my way down with it. In which case I can kind of be on top of the roof to stretch my string and make my cuts, and that'll be easier. So that's probably what I will do. It's kind of like what I did up here with this band board at the top, or with the fascia board on the front of the house. You know, you would normally do that before you deck it, but I didn't have a good way to get up there to work it, so I decked from the bottom up, and then when I got to the top, I put my fascia board on, nailed it, and then nailed to it. And it worked pretty well. I mean, sometimes you gotta get creative and do things a little bit non-traditional when you're working by yourself and you don't have all the big equipment. Boy, I like these black rafter ties. Now, if you'll notice, all of my heels are gonna have to be stained because I cut these, and the way that I cut them, I ended up cutting out past just a little, well, the way my angle fell and everything, ended up cutting just a little bit past where the beam is. So every heel is sticking out with fresh, naked wood. I'm gonna have to stain that and touch it up, but yeah. Really like how this has come together. Hope you enjoyed today's video, getting to see us finish out the framing on the front porch. Next time we'll be decking it, putting some purlins on it, getting ready for that copper metal. I am excited about it. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Until next time, get outside and enjoy God's creation because it's beautiful out here. Y'all have a good day.